Welcome to another episode of Chat Sports Talk. And welcome to Week 9 of the 2023 NFL season. That's right, we're up to Week 9 already. We're halfway there. And we're starting to see a lot of teams really start to identify as the premier of the conference. And others are just trying to vie for draft stock. It's going to be a longer video than normal because I'm going to go a little bit over what I did last week. Go over some of the trades that happened at the trade deadline and other interesting news as transpired thus far. So let's go ahead and kick off with last week's results. I had my best week ever this season, going 13-3. That's right, I only lost 3 matchups. I picked the Colts over the Saints. Saints decided to show up. I picked Steelers over the Jaguars. Trubisky's showing why he is not a starter anymore in the NFL. And the 49ers over the Bengals. I thought the 49ers would come back. They weren't going to lose 3 in a row. I didn't think they'll lose 2 in a row. Well, they lose 4 in a row. I mean, right now, the 49ers in complete disarray. The defense is completely in shambles. The offense is misfiring. Losing Debo was that big of a setback for these guys. But a lot of these other games, I called for the game, the Lions-Raiders game. The Raiders is just such a hot mess. They could not capitalize on what their defense was doing. I mean, every time Lions went into the red zone, field goals, not touchdowns. Raiders couldn't capitalize. Seeing a lot of these other games, you saw Kirk Cousins throwing his ACL in the victory over Green Bay. He's out for the season. What does that do with the Vikings? You look at the Titans and their rookie quarterback Levis came out and just commanded that offense. Could that be the new sign in Tennessee, going away from Tannehill and handing to Levis to let him run the offense? I mean, a lot of things there. Miami struck a little bit. The game between the Jets and Giants was ugly. The Giants was any better, they were beating the Jets. But the Jets had the edge of that victory. I mean, that was just pure heart garbage. But let's go over some of the trade results that happened at the trade deadline. And one of the biggest ones that popped up that I thought was extremely young, Washington was a seller. They sent Chase Young, a former first-round draft pick, to the 49ers for a third-round pick. Note, Chase Young had a phenomenal rookie season, one of the reasons why Washington did so well. He got injured the next season. He started to come back, but he started to come back in form. Now, maybe this is what the 49ers need to get someone else on the line to help out Bosa. So Bosa's on one side, Young's on the other. That's a dangerous one to punch right there. Pretty much like Clowney and Garrett up in Cleveland. So, having 2 monster guys right there, I mean, same thing with the Chargers. We have Khalil Mack and Bosa. But you find ways to get around those guys. But still, you have 2 tenacious pass rushers in Young and Bosa that should help that out. A one that really scratches your head is the Bears picking up Montez Sweat from Washington for a second-round pick. Montez Sweat's on a final year of his contract, so why the Bears are picking up a defensive lineman? There's a lot of other issues with the Bears right now. The offensive line has holes. The defense is missing a lot of pieces. Quarterback right now, especially with Fields being out. So a little strange to decide to go with him. Maybe they can entice him to stay once they sign that. Who knows? Another one, the Vikings signed to do a trade with Arizona for their recently benched quarterback Joshua Dobbs. Where the Cardinals to send Dobbs and a conditional 7th-round pick for the Vikings, 6th-round pick. I don't know about this one. find some things kind of interesting. A lot of names didn't move. Saquon Barkley didn't move. Devontae Adams didn't move. Derrick Henry didn't move. There's a couple other ones that were kind of looking out there, trying to get a trade going. I know the Bears had Jalen Johnson was looking to try to get out of Chicago, but I guess San Francisco and Buffalo and even Dallas all kind of decided not to pull the trigger on that one. Maybe Chicago was asking too much. Some weird picks. The Lions added some wide receiver depth, getting Donovan Peoples-Jones from Cleveland for a 2025 sixth-rounder. So not really a lot going on. I know Tennessee and Philly swapped some safeties, and then so Philly, I'm getting Kevin Byard. Tennessee got Terrell Edmonds, and then a 5th and 6th round pick. So not a lot of movement around between the teams. Trying to figure out, no major shakeup, McCaffrey deal to shake things up. Things might, happen on later on down the season. Those trades tend to take a little bit longer to process. But definitely one of those kind of scratching your head. And then the Raiders fired Josh McDaniels as head coach. Ever since he showed up, he drove Derek Carr out of there. The leader of that locker room drove him out. Because Josh McDaniels wants to be the only leader, and apparently he can't lead because you look what the Raiders are doing. Then he brings up his former backup, and he's in New England, brings up Jimmy G. And definitely not himself at all. Devontae Adams is not happy with the situation right now. He goes to with the Raiders to be with his former college teammate. Now he's just frustrated being there because he's open and balls are getting overshot. I mean, you saw that with the Lions game. They had plenty of opportunity. He had plenty of opportunity to make a statement, and he was just overthrown constantly. And now Jimmy G's benched. They're putting O'Donnell now, the rookie, as the starter. So we'll see what happens with McDaniels. I have a feeling he might crawl back to Belichick. I think Belichick will take him back because his offense has not been the same without him. We'll see how that kind of goes. Well, that's a quick rundown of the draft deadline scenario. Some of the news, my results. Time to head to the picks. This week, there will be 4 squads taking the week off, and that is Denver. Look at my paper here. Detroit, San Fran, and Jacksonville. So they'll all get that extra week off. Also, we're heading back across the pond once again, and we'll be returning to Deutschland. That's right. Bit ein Bit. Heading back to Germany with a hell of a game. If you don't know, Germany's another European country that really loves American football. They have football leagues across the country. Not the same caliber as we have here, but they're definitely very interested. You got to think when at NFL Europe, majority of the teams were in Germany, and a huge, huge fan base that really supported those teams. Just a shame that it didn't go over there, last very long. But kicking off in Frankfurt this year. So let's go ahead and kick things off for Thursday night. We'll have Tennessee visiting Pittsburgh. And this is definitely going to be interesting. Pittsburgh just looked out of sorts against Jacksonville. Defense couldn't handle Trevor Lawrence, and the offense was just bad. It looks like Kenny Pickett should return, but I think Tennessee has found new life with Levis. He's now leading this charge. They might be without DeAndre Hopkins. And right now, Pittsburgh, at the time of me recording this video, is favored by 2.5. I'm taking the Titans. I think They're going to find a new leaf. They're going to make some noise. Maybe scratch the surface at the South Division crown. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I think Pittsburgh's going to continue to find a way to stay relevant. But those offensive woes need to be addressed. And I don't know what they need to do to kind of get things going for that offense, but that offense is not playing the same intensity as the defense. Right now, Tennessee is now have a new life right now. They're energized. They're ready to go, taking the Titans. Then Sunday, we'll kick things off bright and early in Frankfurt, where the Miami Dolphins will take on the Kansas City Chiefs in an epic showdown of AFC contenders. Tyreek Hill taking on his former team, the Track Stars of Miami. Can the Chiefs receivers show up? Not have Taylor Swift there to back them up. Maybe actually catch a touchdown. Because that's right, they didn't score a touchdown last week. And I picked them to lose against Denver. Kansas City is going to look to make a statement. They're looking for scorched earth. They're not going to get it. It will be a shootout. Can the Chandler Jones get back there and disrupt Tua? I'm sure he can. I'm sure there'll definitely be some nice catches to Tyreek Hill. Right now, the Chiefs are favored by 2. I almost want to go with Miami on this one. I'm halfway tempted to go with Miami. But I can't go against Mahomes. Not in this scenario. I'm going with Kansas City, but I'm very reluctant with this one. It's going to be close. It is going to be close. So that 2-point spread, I like it. It's going to be dangerous. One wrong play, one missed tackle could change this whole aspect of the game. But I will uneasily go with the Chiefs. Then we head to Atlanta, where the Falcons play host to the Vikings. And the Vikings, of course, now without Kirk Cousins for the rest of the season. And picking up Dobbs as a backup quarterback. I mean, they still have good weapons right there in Minnesota, but I think Atlanta will find ways to take advantage of this one. Right now, the line's Atlanta by 4.5. I have a feeling it's going to be one of these games where Atlanta's going to have to come back from behind again, kick a game-winning field goal. They've done this like 3 times already this season. But I'm also going to Atlanta, but I think it's going to be closer just because, Minnesota has a lot of talent on that team. Then we head up to Cleveland, where the Browns play host to the Cardinals, and I'm not going to spend much time on this one. Regardless who's the quarterback for the Browns, either P.J. Walker or Deshaun Watson, it's a better option than what's going on in Arizona. It's a hot mess right now with the Redbirds. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. They're tanking for Caleb. It's the game plan now out there in the desert. But, Cleveland's going to have a fun time against the Cardinals. The Rams heading up to Lambeau Field, and with Stafford and Bennett both questionable for the Rams quarterbacks, all the banged-up injuries going on right now for the Rams. And with the Packers, it's a tainted love affair right now with Jordan Love. You love him or hate him, but you got to think this is first where you're starting. It's going to be growing pains. You may not have a playoff a caliber team this year, but you should make some good, decent runs. Right now, Green Bay's favored by 3. I like it. Going to Pack. Washington will head up to take on the Patriots up there in Foxborough at Washington, getting rid of 2 defensive ends. Their offensive line is porous. More holes than Swiss cheese. Sam Howell doesn't have the ability to stay upright for very long. But then you look at the other side with Matt Jones, an inept offensive game plan for him to utilize anything. It's just a hot mess offensively. And flip a coin. I really think it's a flip a coin on this one, but I will take Bill Belichick over Rivera in this one. And I'm just going off the head coaches right now. New England's favored by 3.5. I'm cool with that. Pats. And the Bears will head down to the Big Easy, take on the Saints. Chicago look like a bottom feeding tree or bottom feeding team last week. I lost count of how many interceptions they ended up having. It was just the Chargers had a field day with them, which I knew they would. Saints, not quite as potent as the Chargers, but they have their own offensive weapons to worry about as well. I think DJ Moore's probably have some more catches, but without Justin Fields, there's not much in that going for the Bears offense. And I think it's just going to be a long day, even with Sweets as one of the linemen there on the defensive line. He may provide some catalyst, slow things down. But Saints are favored by 8.5. I don't see any difference in that either. Saints. Huge showdown over there in Baltimore as the Ravens play host to the Seahawks. These two teams are definitely poised and ready for postseason play. Still got 10 more games to go for these guys. But, they definitely are looking to set some high marks right now. Seattle's on top of the West thanks to a 49ers stumble. But Baltimore has looked really, really good these past couple of weeks. Of course, the game against Arizona, don't take anything for granted, but they did definitely dominate Detroit. I think Detroit's slightly better than Seattle. I think they'll have the same luck against them as they did against Detroit. I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as they did with Detroit. That was a little weird, but I'm also going the Ravens. Right now, the line's 5.5. I'd go with that as well. Baltimore. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to H-Town, take on the Texans. And with this one, Houston stumbled in Carolina, which I called for Carolina to get their first win last week. And Tampa Bay just actually was starting to come back against Buffalo. So Tampa Bay has a lot of fight. Houston has a lot of fight. C.J. Stroud still has a pretty impressive resume right now, on pace for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I really think he could actually take that honor. And Mayfield has looked pretty decent in quarterback for the Bucs. Like I said, he's still a competent quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. And I have a feeling he's going to have a very good showing right now. Houston's favored by 3. I'm taking the Bucs. As you know, most of my picks so far have been home teams, so I have to mix it up somewhere. I like Tampa Bay winning in Houston. I'm going to head up to Charlotte once again, see what the Panthers can go 2 in a row, and they play host to Minshew and the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts have too much weapons. Too many weapons. I mean, they fell short against the Saints. They just couldn't get anything going, but I think a little bit more talented than Carolina. They should be able to withstand anything. Right now, the line's 2.5 in favor of the Colts. I agree with that. Going Indy. And then we head down to Vegas and dealing with 2 horrible franchises right now. The Raiders, just fired McDaniels, benched Jimmy G. Kept hold of Devontae Adams. And then you get the G-men who just could not have beat the Jets last week, and they had every opportunity to do it. They have issues. I mean, no matter where you look, there is nothing that screams at you. This is the star. I mean, the Raiders have Max Crosby. They have Devontae Adams, who has really poor numbers this year. The Giants have Saquon Barkley, really poor numbers this year. They don't know who the quarterback is. They've gone to like 6 of them, seems like now. It is a hot mess with the G-men. It's a hot mess with the Raiders. This is just one of these games. I don't know who to pick either. I think it's a pick 'em for me right now. The line has the Raiders by 2. This is a pick 'em game. It's going to be a straight garbage game. I think whoever you pick, the party out team is going to win. I think this is how bad this one is. If you can avoid not picking this game, don't pick it. I'll give it to the G-men just because of Dable. Rivalry coach. I mean, if he can just get the right chemistry going, the right push, and get these guys going, he can actually do something. And this is a really hapless team right now. He should be able to take advantage. Then we have to City of Brotherly Love as they host Big D as a NFC East clash between the Cowboys and Eagles. A huge showdown. Got to see who's going to take control of the division. As we all know, for the past 20 years, there's been no repeat winners in this division. A lot of people call this division the NFC least. I still do. A lot of people say it's parity. Yeah. Somewhat. Because I've seen teams that they'll win the division and then they'll disappear for 3 years. They'll just catch lightning in a bottle once, and that was it. Dallas always seems to find themselves floating in there and just get, stumbles. So technically, Dallas should be one winning the division like 10 times, but they just never do. But with this showdown, it's just two juggernauts going at it. Eagles have not been has been really dominant lately. I mean, they've been winning. Don't get me wrong, they've been winning. They struggled against Washington. Divisional foe. I mean, that is going to happen. And Dallas just dominated the Rams. Right now, Philly's favored by 3. Divisional game. I'm taking Dallas. I'm going on the edge. I'll take the road team in this one. I think that with this one, the road teams are going to split those games. So they give, the Cowboys a slight edge, even though Philly will have the half-game lead because they've won 7 games. But, definitely put a mark on the Eagles. So we'll see how that kind of transpires the rest of the season, especially in the rematch, which should be also another much-watched TV. I'll still go with Dallas winning in Philly. And Sunday night, another quality game in between AFC opponents. The Buffalo Bills are taking on the surging Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals have been looking outstanding. I mean, what they did against San Francisco was nothing but impressive. And Buffalo made no serious move on the trade deadline that could really help them out. You need help on the defensive line. They probably need maybe get another receiver or maybe another running back or something. It's just they made no move. None. And Buffalo did great the first half against Tampa Bay and then just dropped off. They're not consistent. And it's will drive Bills fans crazy. Drive the Bill Mafia crazy because they just can't close out the game. You can't do that with the Bengals. They will eat you alive. Right now, Cincinnati's favored by 2. I'm good with that. Welcome to the jungle, Buffalo. Going Cincinnati. Monday night, the Chargers will take on the Jets out there at MetLife. The Jets looked like hot garbage last week and still came with a victory. The Chargers look really good, but they're taking on the Bears. So, which version are you going to go with? I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if the Jets went out with like a white helmet, like the old school helmet. I don't know. It's kind of like old school colors going at it. I don't know. Kind of rambling there. But can the Chargers really pick apart that Jets defense? I think Herbert can get whatever he's able to get from the Jets defense, but can the Chargers defense disrupt Zach Wilson and the Jets? Absolutely. I just don't know who's going to get more sacks, Mac or Bosa. Right now, the Chargers are favored by 3. I think it's going to be a little more than that one, but I give credit to the Jets defense. The Mean Green has been a force du jour and really kept the Jets in a lot of these games. But I'm also going with the Chargers in this showdown. All right, I went quick, fast, in a hurry and try to make this video short because of all the news and trade talks and results. Just amazed who wasn't moved, what teams didn't make moves. That was just weird. The fact that Chicago's making moves, Buffalo only brought in a cornerback, and that was it. Minnesota picking up a bench quarterback. Washington getting rid of defensive ends. I mean, it's kind of weird how some of these kind of fan out, but no. I mean, the only big name on this list is Chase Young, and that's kind of unusual. But we'll see how this pans out. There's still a lot more games to go. There's only week 9. Remember, it's a 17-game season. A lot more things ahead of us to really kind of see how things kind of pan out. But that's why we watch this, and we just love the showdowns between these teams, and it just try to see if we can see if I can live up to what I did last week. No. let me just pop that bubble right there. No. That was a freak that I was just winning pretty much everything, and I just got lucky. Plain simple. Just got lucky. I don't see me losing 3 games this week. I see my probably 5. A lot of these games, I guess they can go either way. Like I said, coin flip. Hey, but let me know down below which game you think I got completely wrong. I'm sure I got a couple, and I'll just agree with you. Trust me. But while you're down there, go hit that thumbs up. It really pleases the YouTube algorithm. Really helps the promote this video. Really helps please the YouTube gods, and help this channel move forward. You can also subscribe. Check my analytics. Over 90% of you guys are not subscribed. Why? Costs you $0. And that way you can see more of me, hear my voices, and just listen to me just ramble and make weird innuendos and make a complete mockery of myself. But I just once you do that, you click that subscribe button, click that bell icon, turn on notifications until next time I post any more content on my channel. And I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.